The next is buffer action. Actually, what is buffer action? So let us consider sodium acetate or acetic acid buffer. The name of buffer, for understanding what is buffer action, we are using here sodium acetate and acetic acid buffer. Here sodium acetate is a strong electrolyte. All of you know what is a strong electrolyte. Electrolyte, what do you mean by electrolyte? Electrolyte means which can pass electricity easily. A strong electrolyte or electrolyte means which dissociate completely. A strong electrolyte means which dissociate completely or gives ion. So student, here sodium acetate is a strong electrolyte. Sodium acetate is a strong electrolyte which dissociate completely in water and producing large concentration of acetate ion, as you have seen in this reaction. So student, I am repeating here, sodium acetate is a strong electrolyte. That's why it dissociates completely in water. Why? Because it is a strong electrolyte, and the substance which is a strong electrolyte, it is always dissociate completely in water and producing large concentration of ions. So sodium acetate is a strong electrolyte which dissociate completely in water and producing large concentration of acetate ion, as you have seen in the reaction. Since the acetic acid is a weak acid, as you all are familiar with the acetic acid and already you know that acetic acid is a weak acid. So the concentration of undissociated acetic acid molecule is usually high. Means acetic acid is not completely dissociated in water because it is a weak acid. That's why concentration of undissociated acetic acid molecule is usually high. If strong acid is added to the solution, so the added H plus ion will be consumed by the conjugate base acetate present in the large concentration. Similarly, if a small amount of base is added to the so OH minus ion will be neutralized by the large concentration of acetic acid. Student, what I want to explain here, when you are adding a strong acid, means any of the strong acid in this buffer solution, so the strong acid means contain H plus ion. So this strong acid is react with acetate ion. We are having the buffer solution, means sodium acetate or acetic acid buffer. In this we are adding strong acid. So this strong acid is react with acetate ion, from where this acetate ion is produced by sodium acetate. So when we are adding the acid, it is react with the acetate ion and produce acetic acid. In place of strong acid, when we are adding base, so this base is react with acetic acid. This base is react with acetic acid, and you all know that H plus ion means acid and OH minus ion means base. So when we are adding OH minus ion, so this OH minus ion react with acetic acid and neutralize it and produce acetate ion and water. Now the acid or base added thus cannot change the concentration of H plus ion or OH minus ion. The acid or base which we are adding here does not change the concentration of H plus ion or OH minus ion concentration, and pH of the buffer remains unchanged. As you have seen already in the reaction, when we are adding concentration, H plus ion is react with acetate ion, produce acetic acid. OH minus ion react with acetic acid and produce acetate ion and water. So there is no change and the pH of the buffer remains unchanged. Dilution does not have any effect on pH of the buffer, which we can see easily from this reaction. The dilution does not change this ratio. So it is nothing but a buffer action. It is the buffer action in which we are using the buffer solution of sodium acetate and acetic acid. From sodium acetate and acetic acid, sodium acetate is a strong electrolyte which dissociate completely and produce large concentration of acetate ion. And acetic acid is a weak acid, that's why it gives an undissociate molecule. And in this buffer solution, we are adding first acid H plus ion, which react with acetate ion, produce acetic acid. Then we are adding base, so OH minus ion react with acetic acid and produce acetate ion and water. So there is no change, cannot change the concentration of H plus or OH minus ion concentration. That's why pH of the buffer remain unchanged. So it is nothing but a buffer action. The next topic is properties of buffer solution. The pH of buffer solution, as you have known, the pH of buffer solution does not change appreciably by addition of a small amount of either strong acid or strong base, or on dilution, or when it is kept for long time. So it is the property of buffer solution. Means by addition of a small amount of either strong acid, strong base, or dilution, or when you kept it is a long time, so the pH of a buffer solution does not change. The next topic is application of buffer solution, in which the first buffer solution having extensive application in a variety of field, in which the first point is in biochemical system. In biochemical system, pH of blood in our body is maintained 7.36 to 7.42. A more change of 0.2 pH unit can cause death. The saline solution used for intravenous injection must contain buffer system to maintain the property of pH of the blood. So you can understand how the pH of the blood is important. I am repeating here, pH of the blood in our body, it has to be maintained between 7.36 to 7.42. a more change of 0.2 pH unit can cause death. So the saline solution used for intravenous injection must contain buffer system to maintain the proper pH of the blood. The next point of application of buffer solution in agriculture. So in agriculture, as the soil get buffered due to presence of salt such as carbonate, bicarbonate, phosphate and organic acid. The choice of fertilizer depends upon the pH of soil. The next application is in industry. So buffers play an important role in paper, dye, ink, paint and drug industry. Next application in medicine. Students, penicillin preparation of stabilized by addition of sodium citrate as buffer. When citric acid is added to milk of magnesia means MgOH2. So magnesium citrate is formed, which is a buffer. So buffer is used in the stabilization of penicillin or preparation of penicillin. The next is analytical chemistry. In analytical chemistry, in qualitative analysis, pH of 8 to 10 is required for precipitation of cation 3rd group. You know, you have already done group detection in your practical. Group 1, group 2, 3rd A, 3rd B, 4, 5th, 6th. So for precipitation of cation, as you know what is cation and what is anion. So for the precipitation of cation of 3rd A group, a pH of 8 to 10 is required, and it is maintained, which is used of ammonium hydroxide and ammonium chloride buffer. Student, you have know already what is qualitative analysis. Qualitative analysis you have done in your laboratory. Detection of group you have done in your laboratory. Qualitative analysis means detection of cation and anion in a given salt. And group detection, you all are familiar what is the group detection. Now the next topic is solubility product. For understanding the solubility product, we have to study the solubility equilibrium. For solubility equilibrium, we confine our attention to sparingly soluble compound. What do you mean by sparingly soluble compound? Means the compound which dissolve slightly in water. So for solubility product, in solubility product we have to study solubility equilibrium, and in solubility equilibrium we have to attention or we have to study the sparingly soluble compound, means the compound those dissolved only slightly in water. So student, suppose some powder is sparingly soluble salt, means suppose we are using some powdered sparingly soluble salt AgCl, means silver chloride, and put into a water and stirred vigorously. So we are taking a silver chloride and put into a water, the silver chloride is put into a water and stirred. As we have known, it is a sparingly soluble salt. That's why very small amount of silver chloride is dissolved in water and form its saturated solution. Most of the salt remain undissolved. Why? Because silver chloride is a sparingly soluble salt. Thus, solid silver chloride is in contact with its saturated solution. So, silver chloride is a strong electrolyte. Hence, the quantity of silver chloride that dissolve in water dissociate completely into its constituent ion Ag plus and Cl minus. First, we are taking silver chloride and put into water, stir vigorously. Most of the salts remain undissolved. Thus, solid silver chloride is contact with its saturated solution. So, silver chloride is a strong electrolyte. Hence, the quantity of silver chloride that dissolve in water dissociate completely and produce silver plus and chloride minus ion. So, a dynamic equilibrium exists between undissolved solid silver chloride and dissolved ions Ag plus and Cl minus in the saturated solution. This equilibrium is called solubility equilibrium. This equilibrium is called solubility equilibrium. As you have seen in the reaction, AgCl solid. When we are using AgCl solid, so it is a strong electrolyte. AgCl solid is a strong electrolyte and it gives Ag plus ion and Cl minus ion. We can get the formula with the equilibrium constant K is equal to concentration of Ag plus concentration of Cl minus divided by concentration of AgCl. The concentration of AgCl means undissolved silver chloride or undissolved solid silver chloride is constant. That's why in place of concentration of AgCl we can use K dash as a constant. So put this value in equation 1 in place of concentration of AgCl. So we can get the formula K is equal to concentration of Ag plus concentration of Cl minus divided by K dash. Okay, so K dash here in denominator or in dividing position, when we can take it in opposite side of the equal, so we can get K into K dash is equal to concentration of Ag plus and concentration of Cl minus. So the product of K into K dash, the product of K into K dash is nothing but a solubility product which is shown by Ksp. So the product of K into K dash is another constant and it is called solubility product. That is the product of concentration of ion in a saturated solution and it is denoted by Ksp. So your formula will become, in place of K into K dash we are using Ksp. So formula is Ksp is equal to concentration of Ag plus concentration of Cl minus. When we are using the general salt, solubility equilibrium means general salt. So for general salt BXAY solid, it is the general salt, we can get XB Y plus aqueous plus YA X minus aqueous. It is the general salt and the solubility product for this general salt is Ksp is equal to concentration of B Y plus X or concentration of A X minus raised to Y. B Y plus raised to X or A X minus raised to Y. It is the formula for general salt solubility equilibrium. General salt solubility equilibrium. So I hope you understand what is solubility product. Student, saturated solution, always remember, saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt is the product of equilibrium concentration of the constituent ion raised to the power equal to their respective coefficient in the balanced equilibrium expression at a given temperature, and it is called solubility product. It is called solubility product. Means whenever you have to explain the formula of solubility product, so how can you explain? In the saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt, I am explaining the formula of solubility product. Means what is KSP. Whenever you have to define what is KSP, so the KSP in the saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt, the product of equilibrium concentration of constituent ion raised to the power equal to the respective coefficient in the balanced equilibrium expression at a given temperature is called solubility product or called KSP. Student, there are many of the example we can use for the solubility product or KSP. Means in place of AgCl we can use BaSO4 barium sulfate, CaF2 calcium fluoride, calcium phosphate. Means in place of AgCl you can use any other of the sparingly soluble salt. So student, for today's lecture these are the topics. In the next lecture we are going to study relationship between solubility and solubility product. I hope you understand today's topic. Thank you so much.